Hello, Fabulous Capricorn. Welcome to your Jupiter Special Horoscope. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This horoscope covers the period of Jupiter moving into the sign of Libra from September 2016 right to October of 2017. And it will be one of those transits that stands out for you, a time frame that stands out for you for many, many years to come. The progress you make is the kind that has the potential to last, possibly for the rest of your life. If anyone is likely to get a lucky break and see real advancements where it comes to career, where it comes to goal, and where it comes to feeling like you are in alignment with your higher purpose, it absolutely is you. In fact, what might have felt uncertain, what might have felt unclear before, now the penny drops. Now there's a sense that you're moving along with the universe and along with a higher intention for your life. And you can feel yourself achieving, and you will experience yourself achieving breakthroughs in life. And especially where it comes to wherever you are reaching real high, wherever it is that you're thinking about creating a legacy, which is something that is part of what you're here to do and what you teach us all to do. Wherever it is you're thinking along those lines, that's where you are going to have the most luck. So this is the kind of energy that a lot of people look forward to, so use it well, okay? Now we're gonna break this down because this is an important area of life for you. This is essentially what astrologers call your home in the sky. And as such, the move of Jupiter into this part of your sky is going to be that much more significant for you and that much more meaningful for you, because it is as if the things that matter to you most are able to come together that much more easily, that much more harmoniously as well. And it is as if you're able to bring your best game, your best self forward to achieving the things that matter to you. This is absolutely a time of manifestation and a time of fruition. So let me explain the chart a little bit to you, okay? Let me break it down a little bit. When we look at the sky, a bit of an astrology lesson here, but normally when astrologers look at the sky, we use the symbols in an astrology chart. We look at the wheel of the chart. And it is on the eastern side of the wheel that the planets are set to be setting. And it tends to be a time more of fruition, a time when things start being realized, and it is the western half where the planets are set to be rising. You are building, you are growing, you are increasing where it is ultimately, you're developing ultimately what you hope it is that you will reap. It is when you are sowing, and then you reach that point of fruition and of manifestation. So this is the turn, if you will, right? This is the change of the movement for you. And this is where, as Jupiter crosses into the sign of Libra, crosses the very highest point of your sky, this is where manifestation, this is where fruition starts to happen. And this is where you start to make gains based on the work that you have been doing for the last 7 years, really that long, for the last 6.5 years or so. You have been slowly building, slowly working, slowly cultivating. And now here you are coming to a point where you are ready to finally reap the fruit of projects, of effort, of inspiration that you have been putting into place for years now. This is where the payoff finally starts to happen. This can be a great time just in terms of, okay, on one level, this can be getting a promotion. Okay, so that's very textbook. You get a promotion, bosses like you, you do really well in interview situations. But this can also be you making a change and putting yourself on a path of manifesting those things that truly are going to matter to you, that are bigger than you knew before, and ultimately manifesting things that not only help you to feel that you're achieving something now, but will be part of your achievements well beyond this year also. So I want to first take it through an understanding of the different phases of this coming year. So we have got Jupiter, and Jupiter will speak with Pluto, will speak with Uranus and Saturn as well. So it's the conversations with Uranus and Saturn that are going to be particularly beneficial, okay? Those are going to be particularly the ones you want to watch. So you especially want to watch what's taking place in the very end of 2016 and as we're starting 2017, okay? It's going to be an important moment. You want to watch what's happening at the very end of the winter and as we're heading into the spring. That's also going to be one of those time frames that you want to watch. And then we also want to watch what's taking place for you as we move further into the summer. So those are some of the more luckier points. And I'll be here to talk about it as we go along week to week, okay? So no worries there, and giving you the exact dates as well in the monthlies, but particularly in the weeklies as well, where I really break down the week coming up ahead. So you do want to watch ahead for that. But we also have another move happening, and that is Jupiter and Pluto. Now, Jupiter and Pluto will be having a particularly interesting conversation, and it is going to be Pluto in your sign, with that Jupiter speaking with Pluto. And the moments that you want to watch for with that is particularly in the fall, and also this is energy that you are going to experience in the spring as well. So as I look at this Jupiter and Pluto, what this says to me is a couple of things. One is you're going to be really determined, that's for sure. There's going to be a strong motivation to improve your life, to improve your circumstances, to achieve something that matters to you, to achieve a goal as well, okay? So if you're not on the career path, then this could be another goal or just a sense that you're living in alignment with your purpose. But with this particular energy, this can manifest a few different ways. One is that this could be you putting a whole lot of stress on yourself, a whole lot of responsibility on yourself, okay? But there's also a need with this to do your best and surrender the rest. That is one of the key lessons here. And also one of the key lessons here, I'm going to put this out there, it's really important to be meticulously ethical in all of your dealings. There may be some power struggles, power games that are taking place. You don't have to play along those lines, okay? And you can decide that you are going to bring, it doesn't mean that you're not smart. Be clever, be intelligent, and of course, you know, go for what you want. But at the same time, know that there is that balance between crossing a certain line where you're going for things in a way that you know you could be doing better, or you could be doing things differently that allow you to feel more peace with yourself. And there's also that line where you've done what you can do, right? You do your best, you give it your all, and then you have to surrender it. And that's part of the sacred learning around this. I am seeing for a small percentage of you out there, there might be some sort of a power struggle playing out, okay? So this could be you get a really great opportunity, but your current employer says, well, if you leave, there's going to be some big penalty contractually. You can't do that. It's a conflict. It's this and that. So be mindful of that, okay? The way that you avoid a situation like that is by being absolutely ethical. Yes, that's part of it. And also being smart in your timing of when it is that you're presenting particular ideas. And because I'm seeing power struggles, you know, ultimately this could be the thing that shows you where you don't want to be anymore. So if you're in a particular environment, you've been working really hard, but there have been things about the environment that are less than desirable, this is where that less than desirable part of it starts to amplify, starts to strengthen, and you can't avoid it anymore. Where it is that you're in an environment that isn't good for you, like spiritually on a soul level, this is you having that appreciation that, okay, this is what's really going on. I got to do what I have to do to change things, okay? If you are going for opportunities that represent where you have been rather than where it is that you are going or desire to go, that's going to be really hard for you as well, because you will be made very aware, and energetically that's going to come across in any interview situation of where it is that you feel that you are either taking a step back or making a lateral move or furthering doing something that you know you're ready to move forward from, that you're ready to go in a different direction. It'll become very palatable to you where it is that you don't want to be, but also where it is that you desire to go. And where it is you desire to go is not nearly as far-fetched as you realize. It is actually very much in your grasp, in sometimes surprising ways at that. So there is an element here of needing to trust where it is that you go and where it is that you end up, and to realize that you will end up in some surprising places. But part of that needs to be that realization of, what's really going on, where it is that you're okay, where it is that you're not. If you, sometimes with this energy, I gotta say, what can happen is that there's a change in a boss, there's a change in responsibilities, or maybe you have to just be in a different location, and that really exacerbates what is less than ideal about the job that you have, and it magnifies your desire to make a change. And this is really the universe showing you and pushing you to make that change that you really desire. And the change ultimately is towards optimism, is towards inspiration. The change ultimately is towards doing work or feeling in alignment with something more meaningful. Even if the process there feels tough, even if the process there feels hard, this ultimately is going to be the thing that allows you to gain tremendous advantage and tremendous momentum as you move forward. What I absolutely love about this is the wisdom playing out. It is the wisdom playing out. Because on one hand, I see you feeling like, for some of you out there, small percentage of you out there, are going to feel a little fed up, are going to feel like, if you're in a situation that in any way is unhealthy, if your boss is, gets involved in stuff that's less than copacetic, is not the nicest person, and you deserve better, you deserve to be treated better, you deserve to be spoken to better, this is where it just becomes a situation where you're like, I cannot do this anymore. And that is the beginning of great things starting to happen for you. So that's part of some of the dynamics that may play out with this Pluto in your sign and Jupiter having their respective conversation. But here's where that Uranus and Saturn can set you up for amazing, great luck all around. In fact, it is just so promising that you could literally go from one place in life to a whole other, what you perceive as a higher, more rewarding place to be. This is where your career can take very positive leaps forward towards greater achievement, greater accomplishment, and a greater sense of satisfaction as well. If you are involved in anything where you're trying to get some press, this is where the press can come through. If you are involved in something that involves you wanting to be famous, this is where the universe is going to work overtime to help you get that attention, to help you channel that energy to achieve greater fame and greater success. Now remember, Saturn is there as well. So with Saturn, ultimately what you get is what you have earned. So it is about the work that you've already been doing over the last 6 years, right? You've already been building. So for example, let's just say an example. You're a singer, right? You desire to have millions of people hear your voice and lots of people to hear you. As I look at this, okay, and if some audition for some big show comes along in your area, I would say maybe avoid that Jupiter-Pluto. Maybe don't go in the fall, but if that audition is happening like in December or in January, and you've been singing for all these years, you've been working on it, you've been, dedicated to your art and to your craft, then this is where going on a show like that could work very well to your advantage, because it allows you that platform to be heard by a lot of people and to have that breakthrough, to have you go from like rags to riches, to have you go from like one place to a whole other higher level. Again, you have to have put in the work. What's been happening? Now that doesn't mean, I'm thinking of Susan Boyle here, right? Doesn't mean that you have to have, been working professionally this whole time, because Susan Boyle was ultimately, just doing a lot of karaoke, lots of local stuff, and kept nurturing her desire to sing and her love for singing before she had her infamous breakthrough moment on TV. But something like that absolutely can happen. If you've been building, if you've been nurturing, that can happen for you. Now that's just one example. That can happen in any area, any area. So if you are an astrologer, right? Let's say, I know lots of astrologers out there watching me. Thank you so much. I'm sending you guys big hugs, part of the astro community. But let's say you're an astrologer and you desire to start, doing some speaking engagements, traveling more, being interviewed by people, being more recognized, being published in bigger publications. All of that becomes possible under a sky like this. So this is the time to take advantage of it. Now, what you don't want to do is force the universe and say, I must go this way. If you are an astrologer, but you think you're supposed to be a doctor, well, that shows you something there, right? Maybe the great opportunities finding you are in astrology, but you're like, no, I got to get into medicine. I got to get into medicine. That's when you make things hard on yourself. And it might be vice versa. You think you're supposed to be an astrologer, but the universe knows that you're going to be so much happier and so much more productive and have so much more breakthroughs and success, and money is a doctor. So I'm reminded of, actually, another person coming to mind is Paulo Coelho, right? International, amazing writer, right? Just a force of healing, a force of good in the world, has written countless novels. And he talks about how he was a music producer, songwriter, very successful, right? Everybody said that he was so successful, and he realized that, okay, yes, he was successful, but he wasn't living his dream. And his dream was to be a writer. That's what he was really supposed to do on a soul level. And even though on one level it looked really crazy for him to leave this lucrative career, by doing so, he ended up really living at another place of being a very strong presence in the world with what he was truly meant to do. And so I share that because it's like that can be part of the clarity that shows up for you. That could be one way that this energy is realized in your life. Now, not all of us are thinking about what we're meant to do and, you know, thinking in these more lofty terms. But if you are just wanting to experience this energy in a more literal, direct kind of way, then yes, bosses will like you. Interviews should go really well. Promotions could be offered to you now as well. And all in all, it's a good time to reach out and want to do something more, to put yourself out there, to advance, to go higher on the proverbial ladder of success. So that can absolutely be some positive momentum created for you. If your circumstances seem to be changing in the fall and you're not really sure how you feel about it, or you really don't like it, don't worry, just trust it, because it's leading to really positive developments, especially as we move to the end of the year and the beginning of the next. Now, where it comes to matters of heart, matters of love, this particular energy can have you attracting people. The ancients would say attracting somebody older than yourself, more established than yourself. Yes, that's possible. But you know, now more than ever, age, so much is so relative, right? So this is more about attracting somebody who maybe has achieved something that you aspire to achieve, somebody who represents a long-term perspective or the bigger picture perspective, someone aspirational, right? So someone maybe you thought was out of your league before, now all of a sudden is attracted to you, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't know that this was an option, that I could get somebody like this. That can happen, right? Now, I know like how that sounds on the surface. Of course, anybody should be able to feel like we're open to love from wherever it finds us, of course. But this is possibly one way that this energy can manifest, and ultimately it is about helping you to raise your sights higher. And that's how it is throughout this whole process. It's about aiming high, reaching high. And the advancements you take now in every area of life have the potential to improve your life, have the potential to move you forward towards greater happiness, greater prosperity, and have the potential to last. It's the kind of success, the kind of progress that stays with you, not only now, but for years and years to come. Well, thank you so much for watching this special Jupiter Special Horoscope. I'm so grateful for it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up. It means so much. And reach out to me, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my website, nadiyashah.com, and the YouTube comments as well. It'll be a great year. Enjoy, and until we connect again, take care.